In studio right now, Jeff Carpenter. Are you a Syracuse fan, by the way?
I am, but is it football season right now?
Yeah.
No idea.
Very good.
Preoccupied.
Busy time, right? You
Busy
probably don't have
time.
time to watch any baseball, any football. And,
Not a lot, that's for sure.
Well, there'll be hockey for you when you're done.
There you go.
In 2 weeks. Jeff Carpenter in studio, running for re-election in Herkimer County for the district attorney position. And good morning. So talk about what you're hearing from people on the campaign trail as you're out there. I know it includes a lot of knocking on doors.
Oh, absolutely. It's been great. You know, I go door to door at night. Obviously, I am the district attorney right now, so I have to work during the day.
Right.
But I usually grab my son. He's 13, and he and I go door to door, and he loves it. He did it 4 years ago with me, and we go door to door. I'm just getting an absolutely positive response from the voters in Herkimer County. It's been wonderful, really.
And a lot has been about the safety in Herkimer County, and you know, some of it I would assume has to do with just trends that we're going through in society these days.
Yeah.
But the question is Herkimer County safer? And I hate to bring it up again, but that's what you've been targeted with in commercials. So
sure, absolutely. And it's in 2015, as you know, is the safest year in Herkimer County, going back 25 years. But Bill, I don't take full credit for that. I never have. Every time I speak to a group or whatever, you know, I give credit where credit's due, and that's with the law enforcement community that we have in Herkimer County. They are the best, bar none. I say it every time. What I do credit my office with is the relationships that we have with those law enforcement officers. We work every single day. We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My cell phone rings all hours of the day and night, and when they need me, I respond, or one of my assistants responded. And it's that working relationship that I think it's been tremendous over the last 4.5 years.
This kind of worked out as almost like a flip of a coin, but it worked out where your opponent comes on, then you come on, and then it just seemed to have worked out that way. So every time I have you on, it seems like I'm asking you a question about what your opponent said.
Sure, and that's fine.
It's
go ahead.
Kind of the luck of the draw, the way this has worked. But he talks about the latest issue with sales tax distribution, and we're all aware of what happened there. He has implied, more than implied, he said that he would have some investigation or gone to the state and asked for an investigation. Your comments on that, and have you gotten involved in that issue?
Yeah, and I listened to the show last night before I came on here, obviously, today, and I'm wondering, why is he talking about that? The treasurer's office, I think, clearly made a mistake. I think Mr. Wallace was on your show and explained it to you in great detail. They used a formula. They used an incorrect formula, and all the towns and villages in Herkimer County were overpaid, I think, except for two. Right. But why Mr. Daly's coming on your show and talking about that, it has nothing to do with the district attorney's office whatsoever. You know, that's the treasurer, like I, report to the legislature. They're handling that. There's been absolutely no allegations of any criminal conduct. So the district attorney's office doesn't get involved in things that don't pertain to us. And I think in listening to his show last night also, what he said was that part of this cover-up, he's alleging some cover-up of whatever, is that they brought in some retired department head to do the audit with regard to the sales tax issue. And I don't believe that's true. I think what the county did was they brought in their certified public accountants, Dark Angelo and Company, I believe is who they use, and they did the complete audit on the books. So, again, I think this is just another area.
But there's a company out of New Hartford, so it's even outside the county. So.
Sure, and I think Mr. Daly is just trying to throw. Listen, we're in the final 2 weeks here. I understand that he's throwing mud wherever he can to see what sticks, and that has nothing to do with the district attorney's office. So if that's what he would be focusing on right now, if he were the DA, I wonder who would be focusing on the criminal conduct, which is what the job of the DA actually is. So
let's talk about that. As district attorney, what you're facing and the issues that pertain to you.
Well, I prosecute criminal conduct in Herkimer County, and although the statistics show we're safer today than we have been, we're certainly not crime-free. I understand that. And when crime occurs, you have real victims, and it matters to them. I'm not trying to diminish that at all in any way. But, you react to what is occurring in the county. And as you know, Bill, and it's no secret, I mean, we have a heroin epidemic in the United States right now. It's everywhere. It's in Herkimer County. We're dealing with that as best we can, but that's really a global fight that we need, and that's why really the presidential election, one of the things I'm most closely watching is how are they going to deal with the border, because that's not a homegrown drug. That's coming in from other countries.
Right.
And our proximity to New York City makes it particularly tough for upstate New York because that's where a lot of it comes in.
And by the way, some of the there was just on the news the other night a new version or a new recipe or whatever you would call that is 10 times stronger than the heroin, which is already destroying lives.
Yeah, they're cutting it with fentanyl.
Yeah,
and that's dangerous to two people. Number one, the user, because of the potency of it, people are dropping dead using it just the first time that they're using it. But also for law enforcement, because what they've discovered is when law enforcement makes an arrest, they do a field test of the substance. Well, fentanyl actually can go airborne. So what they have found is that the police officers are actually being exposed to the airborne particles of fentanyl. It's become very, very dangerous for police officers to even field test those narcotics. Wow. This is a huge problem we're having.
Now, I wanted to ask you, you talked about how you work with law enforcement, and with this being an epidemic, not just in New York, but across the country, have you implemented new programs? Have there been new, how do I want to say this, new ways to attack the drug problem that is, it seems like ever emerging?
Yeah, actually, what we fight it on two fronts. Number one, the law enforcement front, where we work with our local police officers. I've just spent over $10,000 on our local PDs, equipping them with new surveillance equipment, et cetera, for the fight on the drug front. But also we have a treatment court in Herkimer County that we utilize, and it's been quite successful. That is, if you're a nonviolent offender and you qualify, there's certain parameters, then we'll put you through treatment court. And treatment court really gives you an option. You're either going to listen to us because we're willing to help you because we think that is what's driving your criminal conduct, or number two, what we're going to do is put you in prison if you don't want that option.
Got it.
And it's been greatly successful. There's no question about it.
If you were to eliminate, and I don't know if you have these stats, but off the top of your head, and they don't have to be completely accurate,
I try to be accurate, though. See,
with accuracy.
Unlike my opponent, I do try to be accurate. Okay.
All right. There was a singer. If you were to remove drug issues from the face of the earth, what percentage of your job would be gone that you wouldn't have to work? What percentage of crime would be gone?
Well, it's purely a guess, but I'm going to say a large percentage because the drug trade and the addiction that it causes drives a lot of our other crimes. It drives the larcenies.
So the dealers, once you're hooked, you got to have the money to be able to keep the supply.
Yeah, generally these people are not employed. They're not going to work all day long, so they need money for drugs because the drug dealers aren't giving it away for free. So that drives some other crimes that we have.
All right. Tell people why in 2 weeks from Tuesday that you're the guy they should reelect as district attorney.
Well, I am the district attorney. I've been doing it for 4.5 years. I think that we have seen in Herkimer County it become a safer place to live, and that's not true nationwide, and that's certainly not true in our world today. So again, I work so closely with law enforcement in Herkimer County, and we have such a great working relationship that I want to see that continue. Because, in my opinion, this is where I was born. This is where I'm raising my children. I have a vested interest in this community. I went away to college and came back. I came back for a reason because I love it here. And I want to continue to serve the people in Herkimer County. No question about it.
All right, Jeff Carpenter, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Be careful on those roads. Some hydroplaning going on out there this morning.
It was bad out there, absolutely.
Really coming down.